Welcome to our presentations. Today we will see some introduction on plastic materials and its manufacturing process or the ways of producing the plastic materials with polymer materials and the manufacturing process of plastic materials. So we will see one by one. As I mentioned at the beginning, the word plastic material itself come from the Greek words that plastikos, which means to be able to be shaped or molded by heat. In manufacturing or in producing plastic materials, we should be applied heat. That heats are used for changing some mechanical properties of the plastic materials. So, in a Greek word, plastikos means a material which should be shaped or molded by applying heat. As we will see, shaping plastics by using heat is a basic part of nearly all plastic manufacturing process. Plastic processing can be defined as the process of converting the plastic raw materials or input plastics into semi-finished or finished products. In this case, when we are saying semi-finished means the products which are not totally completed for customer service. Some parts of the products are not finished. Semi means not totally finished products. Maybe it need other manufacturing process for total completing final finish. So from these diagrams, we will see three things. One, the input materials or the input plastic materials are input in form of powder forms or granule forms by using the crusher machine or the grinder machines used for making these powders. So after the powders are processed in here, processing means it need many process like applying heat, mold using by molds, and so many processes are included in here. After processing or manufacturing process, semi-finished products are produced or finished products are prepared. In more technocratic, why we say get the shaped or set the shape. See those two words, get shape and set shape. Technique to get the shape, the ways of gaining the shape, and the ways of converting it into the necessary or the desired product shapes. Set shape varies depend on the process. There are different types of process. Based on that process or based on the desired products, the shapes of the materials should be done. Plastic have becomes a material used to our everyday life applicable in different areas. If you see around you, you can see many products that made from plastic materials. For that reasons, in our daily life activities, we use plastic material for different purpose. Plastics are light in weight as a composite materials. Plastics materials have low weight. It is flexible, weaker relative to other materials. The operating temperatures of the plastic materials mostly than 200 degrees centigrade in here in converting or processing of raw material of the plastics into the semi-finished. We use temperatures for heating. In that case, the temperature what we are used in here in processing are less than 200 degrees centigrade. If the temperatures are beyond that, the transition temperatures of the plastics are more than this. In that case, the plastic materials are into changed his properties, or it loses mechanical properties of itself. Due to that reasons, the conditions of the most relative temperatures, operating temperatures of plastic materials are less than 260 degrees Celsius. Plastic products used for every day in our life and all around us. For example, our clothing, the clothes what we are using are made from plastics. The pen what we are right is the pen what we are using is half made from a plastic materials. The chair that we sit on or wrappings of the food that we are eat. If you see in our home or in our office, we can see many products which are made from plastic materials. Plastic materials. So, plastic materials are necessary in our daily life activities. If you see those products in those figure what are available on this page, look around you. How much plastic do you use? Just imagine or think about the plastic materials and their use, like plastic bottles. Maybe that bottles are used for water bottle, or the bottle what we are using for different cosmetics materials or different foam agents are we use or it made from plastic materials. Plastic material. The table what we are using in our home, in our office, was made from a plastic materials. The chair what we are sit on in every place. The crane what are available in every place. The bags or different bags are made from plastic materials. The plastic materials are prepared or plastic product materials are prepared with different colors. Different colors. Those colors are added into the products when the products are at a manufacturing phase. Plastics gives possibilities of manufacturing products from different plastic materials that are commonly available today. There is there is high degrees of technological understanding of plastic materials and a range of sophisticated technological processes that enable to shape in numerous ways from plastics we can produce or manufacturing different shapes of the products or more complex products are made from plastic materials. Plastic materials. Polymers materials. I hope that in a composite materials, polymer materials are the backbone of composite product materials. Without polymer materials, composite materials are not prepared because composite materials have two main or two major phases. Those phases are fiber phase or reinforcement phases and polymer phase. Polymer phase or matrix materials. Matrix materials. So polymer materials are one basic matrix materials. What we are using in a composite materials. Polymer is general terms for all plastic materials. Polymer means the general term or the general name that are given for plastic materials. Means that they are organic, maybe polymer materials are organic, carbon-based compounds whose molecular are linked together in long chain patterns. Linked together means the bond which are connecting one atomic structures of plastic, the polymers with the other polymers. the link together or nothing bond. Maybe that bonds are single bond, double bond, or triple bonds based on the strength of the compounds or the polymers. Plastic materials can be categorized or plastic materials can be categorized or divided into three main categories. Those categories are natural plastics, semi-synthetic plastics, and synthetic plastics. Natural means plastics which are naturally occurred. Naturally occurred. It is not artificial or man-made. Can be shaped or molded by heat. The occurred material or the natural materials are heated, then molded as we want to produce the products or based on the desired end products. Examples of natural occurring plastic materials can be found in the forms of animal bones. Animal bones are one example of natural plastics. Horns of the animals, tortoise shells, the fossilized resin from pine trees or amber. These pine trees or ambers is the tree what are available in some rural areas. When we are heating the trees are some milk materials are removed from that trees in a form of liquid. That liquids are gradually converted into solid materials. Solid materials. That solid materials are natural plastic material. From that, different materials are prepared. The skin types are semi-synthetic plastics. These are made from natural occurring materials that have been modified. See, semi means some part of the products are natural, the others are man-made or synthetic. It is modified or changed, but mixing other materials with them. This is a mixture, not totally natural or not totally synthetic. Examples of this is cellulose acetates. This cellulose acetate is semi-synthetic plastic materials, which is a reactions of cellulose fiber. Cellulose fiber. This one is natural or natural plastics and acetic acetates. The combinations of two products gives cellulose acetate. Cellulose acetate is semi-synthetic product. Totally or fully synthetic plastics are the third one. These are materials that are derived from breaking down or cracking carbon-based material, usually crude oil, like crude oils, coal, gas, so that their molecular structures are changed. By changing the molecular structures of the materials, we are breaking their bonds by using different techniques, by using different temperature phases. Due to that reason, the bonds of the materials are broken down or decombinations. Then we get the new materials. That new materials known as synthetic plastics. We will see detail. This is generally done in petrochemical refiner under heat and pressures. Heat is applied with a pressures and is the first of the manufacturing process that is required to produce most of our present day commonly occurring plastics. Synthetic and semi-synthetic plastics can be further divided into two other categories. As we classify plastic materials are classified into three main categories: synthetic, natural, and semi-synthetic materials. Synthetic and semi-synthetic plastics can be classified into two main categories. Those are thermoplastic and thermosetting materials. Thermoplastic materials means, in short, the plastic when after we are applying heat, we shaped or molded as we went. Again, if we applying heat, applying heat, it will be softened again and again. This thermoplastic materials. The opposite of that is thermosetting materials. Once we are applying heat and we produce from that materials some products, if we are again applying heat, it's not reshaped, not soft again. They are permanent material. Permanently means it is not reshaped. Some examples of thermoplastic materials are like polystyrene, and those are some thermoplastic material, thermosetting materials, like epoxy material, phenolic material, some polystyrenes, and some rubber materials are known as thermosetting material. Thermosetting materials are some harder than and stronger than thermoplastic materials for keeping the dimensionality of the materials or better dimensional accuracy of the products. We use thermosetting materials. Thermosetting materials. Plastic productions. How we are producing plastic in this case, not the material which are produced from plastics already. How we are producing the input material or plastic material itself. We'll see here. In here, most modern plastics are derived from natural materials. As I said, from the horn of the horns, the bone of some animals, and the turtle shells. From them, we are gain plastic material, natural plastic material. Most of plastics are made from natural material such as oil, coal, and natural gas, which is crude oil remaining the most important raw materials for their production. The starting point for production process is distillation. Distillation. I hope that distillation is the chemistry process or chemical process by applying the temperatures or heats. We can decompose the structures or the bonds of the materials. So in production, plastic production, the first phases are known as distillation phase. Distillation phase. In petrochemical refiners of the raw materials into friction. Friction means different parts into friction. Light frictions or refiner process. Light friction means refiner process give us gas, petrol, paraffin, naphtha. The chemical building block for making plastic come mainly from naphtha. Many of plastic materials are from naphtha materials. How they are produced, we will see in here. This process is known as distillation. Distillation. The first phase are, as I said, distillation process. Distillation process of the crude oil. The input materials are crude oil. The crude oils are inputs inserted from here or input material. Then in here heat exchanger, exchanging heat or heat apply for fuel oil or butane. Some butane gas are removed by through here. The other process are recycled goes to here. Then in furnace means the material which are used for heating the material in its at any temperature. The level of the furnace temperatures are adjusted as you went applying the heat. So the heats are applied in here on the crude oil. Then the crude oils are decomposed, decomposed into many products. Crude oils are after applying heat based on their temperatures. temperature level, and weights of the materials. The decomposed crude oils are classified into gas and LPG, petrol. Their temperature levels are different. For example, for gas materials, temperature levels of the gas are 40 degrees centigrade, 40 degrees Celsius. See this one. The for petroleum 42, 110. For naphtha 110 to 180. These are their temperature levels. So many products are produced from crude oils. By applying heat at different temperature level, we can get different products. These products are different parts means friction process. Those process are friction process. The starting of making plastic is to subject naphtha. For naphtha, after the crude oils are applied to crude oils, we can get decomposition through decomposition mechanism or distillation mechanism. We get naphtha at 110 degrees centigrade to 180 degrees centigrade. We get naphtha materials. One product of crude oil is naphtha materials. Naphtha, the main products for plastic production. Here, the main product for production. Two, cracking process in which complex organic chemical compounds are separated into smaller molecules depend on their molecular weights. Those arrangements are depend on their molecular weights and applied temperatures. These ones based on the molecular weights, they are arranged based on their molecular weights. If those the molecular weights are increased from top to down to up, the molecular weights are low. So the gas materials are the material which have a low molecular weight. It's available at small temperatures, small 40 degrees centigrade temperatures. So the smaller molecular crude, ethylene, propylene, butane, and other hydrocarbon. This one smaller butane, fuel oil. Those are very small in weight. So they are also available in here. They are removed due to low weightness of the chemical compound. The compound product produced through thermal cracking process are then further refined, again further refined in compression and quenching process to produce required material. So at the beginning, we from crude oil by applying the temperatures at different level, we get different decomposed material or cracked process material. By cracked process material, again one of the crude oil products are naphtha. Again, we apply on the naphtha material, single naphtha. Some process are done here. The inputs are naphtha, then applying heat in furnace. The outputs are to this furnace, the boiler, means adding heat again. Then some are removed through this, some are removed this. The removed these are also again applying primary fractionator. Then different products are prepared. Maybe fuel oil is removed here, petrol is removed through here. The other ones are removed through here. Again, compressors. By using compression process is done in here. Compressor means used for compressing. Then distillation column. Again, naphtha materials are decomposed into those materials like hydrogen, methane, ethylene, propylene, butyrene. These are the results of or they are the decomposition or the cracking process of naphtha material. This process are the cracking process of naphtha materials for gaining one product. So in here we are detail see how we are producing plastic material. Plastic material, not material made from a plastic. Plastic material itself. The process of producing plastic material by itself has such process. The next one is plastic processing. In here, the ways of producing some service good or products from a plastic or by what mechanism we are producing some products from a plastic materials or processed plastics. Maybe that outputs are some many goods what we are using in house, in office, in hospital, in school, in different area. So plastic processing because of the properties of polymers, it is possible to mold them and change their shape using different manufacturing techniques or process. By using due to plastic materials are flexible materials. After we applying heat, by using different shaped mold, we are producing or shaping that products at different with a different shapes. Those manufacturing processes are like plastic processing method to manufacturing different parts. Those processes are like extrusion process, blow molding process, vacuum thermoforming process, pressure thermoforming process, mechanical thermoforming process. In here, thermoforming process are classified into three main categories. Those are vacuum, pressure, and mechanical. Pressure and mechanical. We'll see one by one. Rotational molding process, compression molding process. Those are two types of molding process: rotation and compression. Resin molding process. There's also three types of molding process. Those molding process are like rotational, compression, transfer, filtration process, calendering process, and injection molding process are those all are those all are the mechanism or the process what we are using for producing some good from plastic materials. They are their aims are the same, but their process are different in here. Extrusion process, one type of plastic manufacturing process. Extrusion is a process whereby plastics are heated. After heating the plastic materials, heated until they become fluid. But the heating process of plastic materials are less than 200 degrees centigrade, 260 degrees centigrade, not beyond that. But the plastic materials are converted into melted or fluid materials less than 260 degrees centigrade. So until they becomes a fluid and then forced heated burial and then squeezing through the dies. The extrusion is called by water or air as it is necessary or based on the conditions we can using the cooling materials or air or and water material or other liquid also used level the die and is finally cut to the required length of the materials. As you can cut the output products. The shapes of the die can be varied from a simple hole with central supported core to producing the tube such as a pipe to vary sections for certain track or hollow window frame. Most polystyrene, nylon, polypropylene, and polyethylene plastics are applicable to manufacturing different products using extrusion process. By using extrusion process, we can those materials or those products are applicable for extrusion process. Extrusion is compared to squeezing to the passed out of the tube. Advantages of extrusion process: low tool cost. The material that you are used in here is very cheap materials, never is complex profile, shape is possible. Very complex material or output products are manufactured through extrusion process, very rapid production rates. The manufacturing times of this one is very short. We can producing a lot of materials in a short period of time by using extrusion process limitation, usually limited to sections of uniform cross section. This one is based on the mold materials. Similar, if you are using the across circular object mold, you can producing circular at the same dimension, at the same shape, again and again. This repetition process. These are the reason. This limitations of this one. See this one. This one is extruding a pipe. How we are producing a pipe by using this mechanism. This one is the input materials or the plastic materials prepared in a form of granule or a powder forms. Granule or powder forms. Then these powder forms are inserted into the hopper. This one is hopper material. This one is a rotational Archimedes screw. These screws are used for driving, driving, driving the input material or plastic material or polymer materials. Then after driving by screw materials, heat is applied in here. Heat is applied less than 260 degrees centigrade for converting the solid plastic into the liquid forms. After that, pressing by using the injection molding, pressing process is done. Pressing process is done. Due to this profile, the circular tubes or pipes are produced. Then cooling process is done. This in here, cooling process is done by air or water circulations or other liquid also for cooling the output products. Those products or pipes are produced through this similar profile with it, but but their dimensions and thickness or profiles are not similar. So we should be change this profile, mold profile. If we are change as we want to change this profile, then we can get different shapes of the products through here. This process is known as extrusion process, molding process, blow molding process. Second one is blow molding process. What is blow molding process? In whole manufacturing process of the plastic material, we use a heat in a different forms. Blow molding is a simple process where compressed air, compressed air is introduced under the warm sheets of the thermoplastic material, forcing the material into a mold cavities or allowing it to expand freely into the shapes of hemisphere. It is good way of forming large domes. See these ones. These ones are ways of imputing the air. Plastic sheet materials are put on the material. Then clamping process is done before applying the temperatures. After we are clamping the plastic sheet, we are applying heat in here. Heat is applied on the top face of the plastic sheets. Then after the plastics are heated, not melting in here, the process is not by melting the process, but in extrusion molding process, we should be melt the input material. In here, we are heating the sheet, plastic sheet, not melting the plastic sheet. After the heats are applied on the top face of the plastic sheet, then the airs the compressed airs are applied through the bottom of the sheet. See, then the free blowing form or the airs are inserted. Inserted, then the heated plastic sheets are give this shape is this shape is this shape Similar to this, we are using manufacturing different uh, can what we are using in our home, used for washing our clothes, different purpose. Plastic products are produced through like by using blow molding process. The applied pressures are used for making these ones. As we went, restriction formula means the sheet materials are put on the top of this one. After this one, the the plastic sheets are expanded. Then it stop. We can produce different shapes of the material like this one. This one is restriction material, restriction formula. This one is expanded sheet plastics. By expanding that product, we can produce or manufacturing different goods by using blow molding process. The third one, in here, we can use blow extrusion blow molding process means the combinations of extrusion molding and blow molding process. By combining the two mechanisms or two manufacturing process, we are producing different material like this ones. In here, we are applying, a blow molding process. See these ones processes inserting the heated material. Then after form molding process are done, the extrusion process. After extrusion process are done, blow molding process are applied. See these ones. This extruded the material. After extruded, applying the pressure, then we can get such bottles. Different shapes of bottles are produced by using extrusion blow molding process. The combinations of extrusion mold and blow molding process. The third one or the fourth one is vacuum thermoforming process. Vacuum thermoforming process is nothing that the opposite of blow forming process. In under blow forming process, the applied temperatures, those applied airs are for expanding. This one is used for a contraction, removing the air. On the blow forming, applying the air, in here removing or suction the air. Suction the air. So it is the opposite of the blow molding. Instead of warming plastic sheet, we should be warming into similar process. We are warming the plastic sheets, being forced into mold by air pressures. Air is drawn. Under blow forming, air is not drawn. Air is inserted or applying the air. In here, drawing or removing air under the softened plastic sheets. Pull force. See this process. This one is a plastic sheet. Those are mold. The shapes of the products as you went. Those molds are put on some material supporters. So the plastic sheets are heated. Heat is applied on it. Then the plastic sheets are down on the molds. Then platerized. Polyterized is suction parts. After that, drawing air or removing the existed air or by pulling forces the air. So when we are pulling, the sheet plastics are look like this one shape we can get such like shapes. It is the opposite of blow forming process. It's other for manufacturing many similar products. We are preparing similar molds at once. One, two, three, four. At once, we are producing many products. This one is used for mass production. Their molds are by using similar molds. We can use for manufacturing different materials. The fifth one is pressure thermoforming. It is similar to that, but It is similar to that, but in here some opposite processes are available. The process involving shaping preheated thermoplastics sheet by means of air pressure. The air forces the soft sheet to deform in conformity with the cavity shape. By pressure, we are not applying heat in here. The heat are applied by pressure. Preheated plastic sheet mold. Then sections are it's opposite of the first process, vacuum thermoforming process. It is the opposite of that, or the reverse process of vacuum thermoforming process is pressure thermoforming process. Mechanical thermoforming. In here, we are using some dye materials. Some dye materials are used involving shapes of the preheated plastic, the thermoplastic sheet by means of direct mechanical force. The applied force are this one is a plugged force. Then the sheet material plastics are heated. After it is heated, applying force directly. Similar, the products are similar with the shapes of the die. Core plug or positive mold. This one is force the soft sheet to fill the space between the plugged and the negative mold. This one is the negative mold. This one is the positive mold. Then the compression process is done in here. We can get easily or forming process of forging process of plastic. Mechanical thermoforming means similar with the forging process of the metal material. Thermoforming products by using thermoforming, maybe it is pressure, maybe it is blow forming or mechanical forming. We can produce those such plastics are the results of thermoforming process like cup, glasses, round, and square tray, plates, down, lounge tray can be produced using thermoforming process. So thermoforming process are the process best process what you are used for manufacturing plastic materials. Rotational molding process. Rotational molding is used to producing the hollow thermoplastic products such as drums, storage tanks, letter beans. Those are made by rotational molding process. Rotational hollow plastics are rotational. Uh, this one is similar with rotational casting process. I think carefully calculated amounts of the plastic is placed in a closed mold that is heated in oven and rotated slowly. The rotating process slowly around both vertical and horizontal axis. The axis based on the axis of the molded rotation process. The plastic material fuse and sticks to hot mold surface. Build up the required thicknesses. The mold is then gradually cooled by air or water while till rotating. The rotation process is not stopped. The mold is opened after the products are cooled. The finished product is removed and mold reloaded and closed for the next cycle. This cyclic process. The time is taken to make one of the product is known as the product cycle time. Product cycle time is the time required for producing one single product. Advantages of rotational molding process. Low mold cost. Large hollow parts in one piece can be produced and mold parts are essentially isotropic in nature. Limitations of rotational molding process limited to hollow parts. This is used for producing hollow part only, hollow section. Production rates are usually slow. Product cycle time is very large. Means It is not required for mass production. It is difficult to producing mass production under rotational molding process. Rotational molding process are like these ones. Powders of the materials are put in here and under the mold. Then the heat is applied on as this one. This one rotational arm. The arm is used for rotating these molds. Then heats are applied like this ones. After heats are applied on all face of the mold material, rotation processes are started. Rotation, vertical rotation, and horizontal rotations should be done properly. Then, after rotating the product like this one, the melted plastics are gives the shapes of the mold look like this one. This one is the shapes of the produced products made by this process, rotational molding process. The rotation process of this one is vertical and horizontal rotation should be done. This one is the 3D models of the machines. So after cooling process is done, this one is cooling phase. This one is heating phase. Cooling process done maybe by water or maybe by air. We are opening the upper part of the mold. Then product look like this one is the product what you are producing by using rotational molding process. This one is used for producing hollow objects. Only those products are produced by like large tanks are produced by rotational molding process. The left one is compression molding process. Compression process is done in it. Similar with extrusion process, but some mechanisms are different. It is complex. Material is positioned in heated mold cavity. Under heated mold cavity, the materials are positioned. Fixed lower parts of the die, and then the mold is closed. After fixing process, the molds are closed mold. After we are closing, many processes are done like heating and pressures are applied from the movable upper parts of the die. Movable part, these parts of the die. On this one, applying the heat and pressure part of the die, and the material flow and fills the mold cavity. Thermosets compound is usually performed using this method. Heat completed polymerizations and the part is ejected. Little materials waste is attained. Large bulk part can be molded. Difficult to producing the extreme intricate parts containing undercuts, small holes, very close tolerance, time consuming process. As these compression molding process are time consuming process. Very time consuming process. Then after ejection process, the products are inserted in here. Then compression process is done in here. This one is lower mold and the upper mold is come in here. Then compression process is done in here on the heated materials. This heated material. This one is used for cutting. The certain materials are fed into here. Then it is preparing the sheet. Plastic sheet is prepared in here. Then cuts. The cut one is this one. Then the cut one is inserted under the mold. Then pressing process is done in here. So the output product is look like this compression molding process. It is a long process. It is time consuming, which means that after input the raw materials, it is heated in here. Then preparing sheet metal, sheet plastic sheet. Then cutting process done in it. So long process. After cutting, the cut product is inserted into the mold. Then the upper part of the molds are coming here or pressing process by hydraulic or pneumatic or hydraulic process by using a pneumatic or hydraulic mechanisms. Then press After that, the mold is open, the output products or the finished goods are left out from the mold. Transfer molding process. Transfer molding is a process in which pre-weighted amounts of the polymer is preheated in separate chamber. The name itself, transfer, means moving from one place to another place, or transfer chamber or transfer pot, and then forced into preheated mold through sprue, taking the shapes of the mold cavity and performing cure due to heat and pressure applied to the material. Uh, it combines the principles of compressions and injection molding process. The mold cavities are produced from steel, aluminum, and different alloys. The molds of the materials are different from those metal materials. The mold is used primarily for mold thermosetting resins or thermosets. Thermoset, as I mentioned before, plastic materials are synthetic and semi-synthetic materials are plastic materials classified into thermosetting and thermoplastic materials. But these processes are all transfer molding processes are used for thermosetting, but some thermoplastics part may also be produced by transfer molding. Totally or by the most materials are thermosetting materials used for inputting product. The method uses split mold and circular equipment with plunger mounted in hydraulic press. Good dimensional accuracy, rapid production rate, and very intricate parts can be produced. This one is some advantages of transfer molding process. Some disadvantages are like high mold cost. Rise mold transfers are very expensive machines. High material loss in spuriforms. It is similar with casting process. Excess materials are removed. The produced products are prepared as a semi-finished products. After that, many processes are done on it. That case, many removing sprues and runners of the materials. Then size of parts is somewhat limited. So it has many disadvantages. The transfer molding process involving the following steps. Some steps of transfer molding process are like pre-weight amount of the polymer mixed with additive and filler or chamber is placed into the transfer pot or powder pellets, pute-like masses or preformed blanks. The change is heated in pot where the polymer soften. Second one is plunger mounted on the top plates moves downward, pressing on the polymer charge and forcing it to fill the mold cavity through the spring. See this one. This one is charging process. Upper mold, lower mold. After the products are PUT or the plastic materials put on here, weighted means in here, mounted the top plate. These ones. Then the top plates are coming here. This closed look like these ones. After touching it, heat is applied on these products. Then after the heats are applied on this one is converted into a liquid. Then pressing process is done. Pressing process. When we are pressing, the melted liquids are coming here. This one is vacuum or the shapes or mold. The mold cavity. We want to produce the product look like this one. So what shapes. Then pressing process is done in here. After pressing process is done, the liquid plastic is coming here. It is full this area. Full this area. This part is known as resin. or mold transfer resin. Then the product is this one. We are opening these areas. Eject pin. This one is eject pin for removing the products. Say after we are removing the products, these parts are extra parts. So wasting materials done in here. Calendaring process. Calendaring process is similar with drawing process under metal materials. Coloring is used to producing the plastic sheets and products such as flower tiles, coated fabrics, and covering for car interior. Car interior for used for different decoration purpose. Used thermoplastics is extruded onto heated rotating rollers that squeeze material into a continuous sheets or films. The film is cooled by jets of air or waters before being cut to sheet buildings or loaded into the roller. See these ones. Those are rollers. Rollers. By using different rollers at a different levels, these one somewhat plastics are heated. Then the plastics are the rollers are making these plastics. It is used for reducing the thickness of the plastics. Then the plastic sheets look like hairs are produced. This process is known as calendering process. Those dyes are the dyes which are these yellow colors are fade roller. This one is fading. This is from the hopper to it's used for fading. Both are fading. The green one is nip roller. Those rollers are nip used for napping process. The red one is tension or tightening. See these ones. Tightening, tension. The roller. The red rollers are used for tension process. This one is tightening. Tightening. These rollers or dyes are used for embossing or calling color. Calling roller. Calling used for calling. After tension, it is called. Then take up roller. Those rollers are for collecting the product. Injection molding process. Injection molding process is nothing that the thermoplastic or thermosetting is heated to plastic in cylinder. It is heated in here. Similar with a blow forming process. Similar with no extrusion molding process. Then the plastic powders are inserted in here. Then by using the screw, reciprocating screw, it is rotating this one. Then fade into the barrel. The barrels are the heated area. Heater is applied. After that, the resin undergoes solidification. Rapidly, the mold is opened and part is ejected. So, heat is applied on the input material, then it is converted into liquid. Then injection process is done in here. Injection chamber. This chamber is known as injection. Injecting the liquid is product is a plastic into the mold. This one through the mold, through the nozzles. Two, these shape parts are screwed to the mold. To the mold. This one is stationary plates. This plate is not rotated. It's fixed. This plate is movable plates. After cooling process is done, or the liquid plastics are injected through the screws, then it gives such look like shapes. Then cooling process is done in here. Then these movable molds are opened. Then cutting process is done in here. The products are produced. Continuous process are done in here. Continuously, not single. These process are used for not for single products. Used for mass production. Mass production. Used for mass production. This process is very huge process known as injection molding process. Processing stage, injection molding process stage. See this one, the powder or the granule from the chamber. This one, powder or granule, the product, the powder of the plastics are fed into the screw or reciprocating screw. These screws are rotating due to the motor. Here, motor is here. Then this one is transferring load or power from this one to this one. This one is on rotating 360-degree copper into the steel barrel. This one is steel barrel with rotating screw. Once a sufficient charges of the melted plastics has accumulated, a ram hydraulic ram forces screw forward injection the thermoplastic through the spring into the mold cavity. This was into due to the injection, the liquid plastics are goes to the mold. See this process. Then this one is plastic material after heating or converted into liquid. Then it goes to the mold. The shapes of the molds look like this one. Look like this one. After that, pressure is kept on the mold until the plastic was cold. Pressure is applied on here for cooling the products. Cold sufficiently to open and eject. Eject means removing the molds. Are these ones fixed stationary mold? These molds are movable molds. Then it is open. Products are out. Continuous process done by using injection molding process. Such products are produced by using injection molding. The compound are used in our homes, that parts of the computer, parts of the television, different phones, covers, CDs, fridge what are used are by prepared by injection molding process. Okay, thank you for your listening in my channels, or thank you for your watching our videos. Please, if it is good or you are satisfied to this video, share for your friends and subscribe my channel. Have a nice time. Thank you. We will see by other videos. Ciao.